Chapter 6. The feeding room, the sound of running feet echoed closer. They sprinted down the corridor, every step sending dust billowing into the air. Portrait eyes followed them, silent, patient, as though amused by their panic. "Stairs," Taylor shouted, pointing to a narrow door at the end of the hall. They shoved it open and stumbled onto a winding staircase that spiraled downward into choking blackness. The air grew colder with each step, heavy with damp and mold. The faint whisper of children's voices seemed to float upward from below. Lena hesitated. "We can't go down there." Marcus grabbed her wrist, tugging her forward. "Upstairs is worse." The stairs ended at a heavy iron door, its surface streaked with rust. It looked more suited for a prison than a home. Ethan raised his camera. His voice was hushed, reverent. This is it. This is where they kept them." Taylor glared at him, jaw clenched. "You need to stop filming right now." But Ethan shook his head, grip white-knuckled on the camera. "If we die down here, someone has to know." Marcus pressed his ear to the door. A faint scraping came from the other side, slow, measured, like claws dragging against stone. He swallowed hard. "It's waiting for us." The door creaked open on its own. The basement yawned before them, a long chamber, lit dimly by cracks in the boarded-up windows above. Stone walls wept moisture. The air was thick sour, and lining both sides of the room cages. Small, narrow, no bigger than dog kennels. Rusted bars streaked with old stains. Shackles bolted to the floor. Lena's hand flew to her mouth. "Oh, God! They kept children in here!" Taylor backed away, gagging. "This is sick. This whole family was sick." Ethan filmed every detail, breathing fast. "This isn't just haunting. It's history." The Holloways, they weren't caretakers. They were feeding it. "Feeding what?" Lena asked, voice trembling. Before Ethan could answer, a noise rose from the darkness deeper in the basement. Not whispers, not footsteps, breathing wet, heavy, labored. Marcus raised the broken drawer he'd kept, like a weapon, his voice sharp. "Stay behind me." From the far corner, movement stirred. Something crouched low to the ground, its shape hidden in the shadows. Chains rattled faintly as it shifted. Lena's light found it. A figure, hunched and its skin was pale, stretched tight over sharp bones. Its mouth gaped open, teeth glistening. When the light touched it, it hissed, scuttling back into the dark like an insect. The cages around them rattled violently in response. Though empty, the chains clinked as if unseen hands were yanking them. The whispers began again, loud, urgent. "Feed. Feed. Feed." Taylor lost it. He bolted for the stairs, but as he reached the door, it slammed shut, the iron groaning. He yanked desperately at the handle it wouldn't budge. "Open it! Open it!" he screamed. The hissing figure in the corner moved closer, limbs jerking unnaturally. Its pale hands scraped the stone floor, leaving streaks behind. Ethan kept filming even as his voice cracked. It's a survivor. It's one of them. They never left." Marcus shook his head, eyes wide with terror. "That's not A love? The thing lunged. It moved fast, too fast, scrambling across the floor on all fours, its jaw unhinged wider than human. Teeth chattering as it shrieked, Marcus swung the drawer with a roar, catching it across the face. Bone cracked. It reeled back, screeching, before retreating to the shadows again. But the whispers didn't stop. They grew louder, deafening. Feed, feed. The cages rattled harder, and one of them burst open. From the cage nearest Lena, a hand shot out. Gray, skeletal fingers clawed the air. A second figure dragged itself free, crawling on its belly like a starving animal. Its eyes rolled white in the dark, mouth working soundlessly until... "Stay with us!" Lena screamed. Marcus yanked her back as the thing clawed at the floor, pulling itself forward inch by inch. More cages popped open one by one. Hands, arms, faces, dozens of them, all whispering in one horrific chorus. "Stay! Stay! Stay!" Taylor pounded at the door, sobbing, "Please, please let me out." And then the whispers shifted, soft and sharp, aimed only at him. "Taylor, stay." He froze. His hands dropped from the handle. "Taylor," Marcus shouted, "don't listen." But Taylor's head tilted, eyes glassy, as if something inside him cracked. Slowly, he turned back, toward the basement, toward the swarm of crawling, starving things dragging themselves free. He whispered the words with them, "Stay." And then, smiling faintly, he walked into the dark. Chapter 7. The split Taylor disappeared into the dark. The others screamed for him, but his footsteps didn't echo back. Only the whispers answered, layered voices pouring from every corner of the basement. "Taylor! Stay! Stay!" Marcus slammed his fist against the iron door again. "We can't stay down here!" As if the house itself listened. The door creaked and swung open with a long groan. They didn't hesitate. They bolted up the stairs, lungs burning, the sound of crawling things scraping after them. The moment they spilled into the hallway above, the door slammed shut with a final, echoing clang. They stood gasping in the corridor, the floor vibrating faintly beneath their feet. The house was alive. Listening. Waiting. "Taylor's gone," Lena whispered, tears streaming. "We can't just leave him down there." "He's not Taylor anymore." Ethan kept filming, the lens shaking as badly as his hands. His voice broke. "Do you get what this means? The Holloways, they fed people to it, and now it's doing the same to us. That's why no one ever comes out. The whispering rose and fell like the sound of waves. This time, different names emerged. Ethan, Lena, Marcus. They froze. The house knew all of them. The corridors stretched unnaturally long. Doors lined either side. But when Marcus tried one, it led back to the same hallway they had just run from. Another door, same hallway. It's looping, he muttered. Lena's voice cracked. We're trapped. The whispers giggled, children's voices, mocking. Round and round, stay and play. The floorboards suddenly split beneath them with a thunderous crack. The corridor warped, bending like melting wax. Doors twisted into new shapes, stretching tall and thin. The wallpaper peeled away in strips, revealing pulsing, wet wood beneath. The house was rearranging itself. Lena grabbed Marcus's arm, eyes wide with horror. It's changing around us. Ethan swung the camera wildly, capturing everything. It doesn't want us to leave. It wants us to split. And then, with a sickening lurch, the hallway split in two. A wall slammed down between them, separating Marcus from Ethan and Lena. Marcus pounded the wall with both fists. Ethan, Lena, their muffled voices called back. Marcus, this way. But the whispers drowned them out. Marcos, alone, alone. On Marcus's side, the hall was narrow, suffocating. Doors lined both sides, but the handles were gone. Smooth wood where knobs should be. He pressed his back to the wall, weapon gripped tight, eyes darting. A low creak followed him. Footsteps that weren't his own. Something was walking with him. On the other side, Ethan and Lena stumbled through their warped corridor. Ethan muttered to himself, filming frantically. This is intelligent. It's building the maze around us. It's hurting us. Lena clutched his sleeve. Shut up and move. They turned a corner and froze. At the end of the hall stood Taylor, or what was left of him. His shirt was torn, his skin pale as wax. His eyes stared blankly, lips moving with the whispers. Stay! Stay! Ethan whispered, voice shaking. That's not him anymore. Lena screamed, pulling Ethan back, but Taylor lurched forward, arms twitching at unnatural angles, as though strings yanked his limbs. The whispers swelled. Together. Stay together. Meanwhile, Marcus's footsteps quickened. The sound behind him grew louder, slapping feet, dragging breaths. He spun, holding the broken drawer like a club. The hallway was empty. But on the wall beside him, the wallpaper bulged outward, pulsing as if something crawled just behind the surface. And then, a hand pushed through the wall, the same pale, too thin hand from the mirror. Its fingers brushed his shoulder, leaving a streak of black slime. Marcus roared, swinging his makeshift weapon, tearing the wall open. Black liquid gushed out, the stench overwhelming. He staggered back, gagging. From the hole, a face pressed through, smiling, whispering his name. Marcus. On the other side, Ethan and Lena ran. Taylor staggered after them, mouth hanging open, whispering with the house. They darted into a room, slamming the door. Ethan pressed his camera to his chest. Shaking, Lena rounded on him, voice cracking. Stop filming! Help me block the door! But the door didn't rattle. Instead, the whispers filled the room. Ethan's name. Over and over. He froze, sweat dripping down his face. It's calling me! Lena shook him. Don't listen! But his eyes glazed, lips moving with the words. Stay. Back in the warped hall, Marcus backed away from the whispering face pressing through the wall. His chest heaved, sweat soaking his shirt. The floor beneath him cracked, boards split open into darkness below. He fell with a shout, crashing through into black. The last thing he heard before the dark swallowed him, Lena screaming his name, and the whispers laughing.